Let's go through kind of the 7 different possible ways of making decisions just to give people a taste. So look up your chart again at humandesignblueprint.com. And what I want you all to look at is your authority. There are 7 different ones. And it's going to be something like sacral, emotional.
So anyone can be a mix of these, right? It doesn't have to do with your type, your first type.
Mostly, yes. There are certain options for types. So like, for example, as a generator, you could be sacral or emotional, but it is not all types will be the same. They just kind of have different branches.
Okay.
So the 7 authorities are sacral, emotional, splenic, self-projected, ego, mental or environmental, or none, or Waiter lunar cycle. So let's just kind of touch on each of those. Do you know your boyfriend's authority?
I think he's emotional authority.
Okay, cool.
And what was funny was when I read him he was like, that doesn't resonate with me. I'm not emotional. But
I know.
Did
he realize that it's all about making decisions when he's not emotional?
Maybe. I don't know.
The emotional, I feel like some of the names in human design are so annoying because they don't totally speak to it. Like, I think emotional is very much like, oh, I've got to make decisions in my feelings. It's like, no, it's the opposite. But we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So you are sacral. And basically, and this is for anyone sacral who's listening, this means that you're either a generator or manifesting generator. It means that you are somebody who's meant to make decisions in the moment based on your gut feeling. It's instantaneous. It's a very kind of visceral feeling in your belly that either pulls you towards something or pushes you away. It often comes as like a full-bodied yes, or like a discomfort, or like a not right now. I would say anything but a full-bodied yes is a not right now. And your gut is as much a tool to help you know where to put your energy as it is a tool to help you know when to put it there. Meaning that something might not feel right when it's first presented. And then a week later, you're like, oh my God, yes, I must do it. And often with a gut feeling, like something needs to kind of be put in front of you in your world in some way. So like, if you're having a hard time making decisions, if you're like being asked very open-ended things, like, what do you want to do next? Or where do you want to eat dinner? It might feel really hard to be like, I don't know what I want. But if somebody offers you something very specific, like, do you want to eat dinner here or here? Do you want to do this or this? You might find it's far easier to kind of bypass your mind and get you straight into your gut.
Yes, it makes sense for me. I need decisions or options placed in front of me, and it makes it easier.
Yeah. And you can imagine how easy it is for partners to know that about you, and friends and colleagues, because, when you're asked something in a really open-ended way, it's not that you don't have an answer, but you're not being asked in a way that's actually helping you know your answer, So
Yes.
That's a big one. And I think when it comes to work and all the things, like, people might present so many things, and your work is to kind of just treat everything as a thing to respond to. It's like, how does it feel in my gut? Like, does their advice feel good in my gut, or does it feel like it doesn't quite feel right?
Yeah. I love that also, that if it's not a full-bodied yes, it's a not right now. Because that's really important. It's all about timing, like the right time to do something.
It's so much about timing, because like the same decision in a week can like be so different than like that decision right now. And I tell a few stories in the book of like, there was one client who had a really strong gut response when like he was presented this conference. Somebody wanted him to go to it. He's like, no, I don't want to go to it. It doesn't feel right. And he was like, I don't know why. It seems super cool, but I'm getting a no. And then like 2 weeks later, it felt right. And he went and he like met his future business partner. So it was just like a matter of like, that was not the right time. And then like the timing became clear. Okay. So the next one is emotional. So I'm curious to see whether you recognize this in your boyfriend, and also totally good if not. So if somebody has an emotional authority, which is true, possible for every single type, with the exception of reflectors, it means that they are not meant to make decisions in the moment, at least the big ones. They're really kind of meant to give themselves space and time for their feelings to settle and to make decisions from like a very calm and peaceful space. Often with this authority, we can have these kind of emotional highs and lows, and it can be, more chill for some. But the key is to kind of not make decisions on the high or on the low, but basically after it's all passed and we just have a little bit more perspective. It's usually like 24 hours, and it's not that our initial instinct is incorrect. It just means giving ourselves more time really helps us kind of settle into whether it's right. Do you see that in your boyfriend, or do you feel like he's very fast?
You know what's funny? So when I read him that, he was like, no, I love making quick decisions. I pride myself on making quick decisions. But he also gave me the advice for my big decisions. He's like, it's a big decision. You should wait on it. You should like take your time. And
so for the small decisions, he can totally do what feels good in the moment. And that's recommended, because like you can't wait for all these, small decisions. But for the big ones, like, entering a new relationship, moving into a new home, like choosing a new client, it's just like giving yourself space and time to really feel into it. And I see so much friction in relationships when people have different authorities and ways of making decisions and just kind of expect the other one to move at their pace or move at their speed. And so it's so nice, like, oh, like I'm meant to be fast, they're meant to be slow. They're both perfectly fine, like as long as we give each other that space.
Yeah, that's really important.
But it is funny that he gave you the advice to sleep on it, because that's such a good example of like,
Yeah. And so I did wait a long time, even though I had an initial gut feeling, but you know,
yeah,
yeah. So sometimes it confuses you. So you have to know your own type and trust yourself.
exactly. And again, like know how to support people of that type, where it's like, oh, okay, like you can do it really instantaneously. Let me just like remind you to trust your visceral instinctual feeling. So the
Mhm.
next authority is called splenic. It's similar to the sacral in some ways. It's possible for projectors and manifestors. It basically is like a very quiet instinctual knowing. It's not like a visceral belly gut feeling like you might have. And you actually have this one present too. It's just your gut feeling is like your primary one. But it basically means these people might have like a whisper or a voice or this like quiet knowing that kind of emerges out of nowhere and then disappears just as quickly. And they can't predict when it's going to come. It's not like specific questions. It just emerges and then goes away. It is the quietest authority of them all. And so I often really recommend these people like create time in their days to really kind of like slow down and get quiet and hear themselves because that's often when it emerges. But it's hard to trust sometimes because it is so fast and so instantaneous.
What advice do you have for people to tell the difference between what is that voice? Because it might be their brain.
Totally. I
Yeah.
think that it's often like something that just feels like it's like a non sequitur. Like it just doesn't totally like, it wasn't like a thing that you're like thinking through or like a fear. It just like dropped in and you were like, what is that? And it does emerge in different ways for different people. Like for some people, they hear an actual voice, or it's like this very distinct kind of feeling or tingles in their body. So I would be curious for these people to just spend like a little bit more time, like, I don't know, dancing or going on walks or just like meditating and being like, when I create a little bit more space for myself away from other people, like what bubbles up and like what feel like it's often like not anxiety. There's just like a peaceful feeling associated with it. The thing is, for these people, they're super sensitive to everyone else's emotions and feelings about decisions. So they might be around somebody that is really excited about something and easily get swept away by it. So it does kind of
Yeah.
require that like step back of like, but what is my intuition telling me? But it does kind of show up differently for different people. Because you also kind of have this in your design, like, do you feel that kind of quiet, intuitive knowing in addition to your gut feeling?
Oh, totally. I need to have time spent with myself and be in my own feelings and thoughts because I also feel like I'm easily influenced by the energy of those around me. Like if I'm with someone and they're really excited about something, I might think I'm excited as well. But yeah, so sometimes that's why it's so hard for me to know what am I really feeling.
It's so true for you. I talk about this a little bit in the book as well for sacral authorities is that like you are somebody who's so empathic. And so you can so easily get swept up as well as the splenic people in other people's feelings, specifically your boyfriend's feelings, actually. Like very like if he's excited, you're like, you can also be like, oh, I feel that excitement too. And then you might walk away and be like, wait, I actually don't know if I'm excited about that thing, but his excitement was super infectious. So you're right on that. It's also good for you to kind of take that space to really confirm that you really want to do that thing.
Hmm.
Then we've got self-projected authorities. This one is only possible for projectors. And this authority is all about talking things out and finding clarity through your voice. So these people really connect to their truth by speaking with people they trust, not to look for advice, but just to kind of like have a sounding board and kind of talk out what they're feeling and exploring. And often when they talk things
Yeah.
out, like their knowing will just land. It will just come out and they're like, oh, there it is. There's my answer. No, it's not. It's not. Mine's emotional. But I have an element of this for sure. It's just not my like primary type. But I do so know that feeling of like when I work with these clients, like you hear the tone of the voice change. Like it's a kind of this like lucidity. It's like everything just becomes clear. So the best thing they can do in decision making is to kind of surround themselves with people they trust and see what clarity emerges when they kind of speak freely without trying to plan it.
I love that. I actually didn't recognize this as a type, but when you say it, I can think of like the friend that I'm like, oh, this is probably their type because they need to sound it out with the people around them to make a big decision. Whereas someone like me, I'm like, I could just journal and figure it out myself.
Totally.
So it's like understanding the different types and the people around you.
Yeah. And it brings like us so much more empathy, and I tell a few stories in the book of like people with this authority who would like voice note a friend and then they would like follow that up being like, don't need to listen to it. Like I got my clarity, like talking it out was all I needed. Like I didn't really need you, but it is the process of using their voice that kind of brings them to their truth.
Oh, I see. Got it.
Yeah. And it is really helpful to know if people in your life have this because you might be like, oh, they're looking for advice or like, but no, they're often just like looking for probing questions that will kind of pull their truth out of them.
I see.
Then we've got ego authorities. This one is possible for projectors and manifestors. And this one is it's very rare. It's all about kind of making decisions based on what your heart is in. It's like, what do you like really desire to do? What do you feel like you must do? Like, what do you just like want to do? And I sat with someone in session today who had this and like she was talking about a book she wanted to write. And it was very much like, I have to do this. Like, it was like, I must, there's no choice. Like that's often kind of the heart speaking. So I often do encourage these people to kind of talk things out as well, mostly to hear like, is there that kind of determination and conviction in their voice? So the right decisions for them are the ones their heart is pulling them towards and like that feel kind of inevitable. And the ones that feel like they'll be very kind of recognized in their power. And because these are like such powerful people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we've got two more. We've got mental authorities, which is called environmental or none. These people also have to talk things out, but also have to talk things out with like multiple people, not just one, and often in spaces that feel really good. And so when they kind of talk things out in spaces that feel good with people they trust, their truth also just emerges. So it's a bit more of a patient process than the one I mentioned before, because they'll often find that different people pull out different parts of them. And they have to kind of connect to all those parts to really land in their truth. The last authority is for reflectors, and this is called none. And none is just because they don't have a consistent part of their body they're meant to use when making decisions, and it's more around the process they're meant to use. So reflectors, in an ideal world, not always possible, are meant to give themselves a full 28 to 30 days before making a big decision, which feels a little wild to me. And yet the idea is that like that's a full lunar cycle. And it basically gives them a chance to kind of sample a decision from like many different parts of themselves to kind of see what feels true and what threads remain consistent. And so of course, this is not for every decision. And honestly, some reflectors like can't wait 28 days for like accepting a job or something like that. But I would say what's most important is making decisions from an unhurried place, an unpressured place, where you kind of allow yourself to just like move through multiple moods and perspectives and really decide in a way that feels peaceful and calm. But it's really easy for them to kind of get caught in the sense of urgency and they must choose right now.
Yeah. And this applies to all reflectors?
That's true. They all share an authority.
Oh, I see. So they're unique in the sense that they just have one authority. The other types can have different options.
That's right.